just a few short weeks ago. I was literally plastered to the bed, could not hardly move, couldn't walk, confined to my wheelchair pretty much 90% of the time. And then when I wasn't in my wheelchair, I always used my cane. I don't know what your struggle was, but my struggle was Pepsi. I was a fanatic, Pepsi fanatic. I literally drank probably a 2 liter a day, if not more. Sometimes I would do 2 liters of Pepsi just in one day. I don't know what your struggle is, but that was mine. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You may be wondering why I have this towel wrapped around my neck. Not too long ago, this very towel, I was ready to throw it in. I was ready to quit just a few short weeks ago. I was struggling to survive and live and just to move. It was an extreme struggle for me to get out of bed and just to do daily activities. Now, turning around, excuse me, in a drastic way. Every day, I'm excited to get up and take life head on. That you too can recover from the ashes. A lot of things in your life may be burned up. You know, it may be dead, it may be dried up. And you might be in a desert place, a dry place where you just don't know how you're gonna survive and how you're gonna be able to take another step. But I just wanna let you know, again, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I'm not there yet, I have a long way to go, but I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And you can too.
Join the Emerson journey, currently in session.
So for 3.5 years, I sat up on the couch sleeping, and I was absolutely miserable, and I no longer wanted to live. So as I mentioned, I kept begging God to kill me. You know, I told him, I said, look, life sucks, it stinks. You know, I was confined to a wheelchair 90% of the time. Basically, I was unable to stand for more than 5 minutes at a time. And every little step that I took, I absolutely was gasped. I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was just, you know, dying on the inside. Literally, my body was shutting down.
Well, Emerson, can I ask you this question? And if you don't want to elaborate on it, it's fine. I understand. Did you have anybody around you to rely on, to give you any kind of help?
Absolutely. There was no type of, in the beginning when I started my journey, you know, it was basically just all me basically buckling down and, you know, digging in and taking care of business on a daily basis. Many times I would ride my wheelchair to the gym. The very first time I rode my wheelchair to the gym, it took me like 5 minutes just to climb up on the treadmill. And I mean, the treadmill wasn't that high up, but, you know, trucking 560 pounds. I mean, it was basically so hard. I mean, it was just painful to lift my legs. And keep in mind, I had all of that fluid in my body at that particular time. You know, I had lost about 35 pounds, but it was still a struggle. But I managed to get up on that treadmill and began to put in work. I mean, the very first workout, I did like 30 minutes on the treadmill, you know. And the next day, I was like extremely sore, and I contemplated quitting. I said, I'm not going back. You know, I accept being fat, and I accept dying soon. You know, I was like, I'm just going to go back and do what I've been doing, you know, basically eating myself to death. Many people may not know, I lost my entire immediate family within a matter of 4.5 years. And I was devastated, and I just wanted to die. I wanted to join my family. I didn't feel there was any reason for me to live. So like I said, I begged God to kill me, but He just kept telling me, "You should live and not die." So I pretty much told him, I said, "Well, if that's the case, you have got to empower me to get this weight off." And he began to give me a strategy. It didn't come immediately. I had to just keep my eyes open and my spirit sensitive to the move of God. And I saw a friend of mine on Facebook who was promoting some tea. In a million years, I never would imagine that God would save my life with tea. But that's exactly what He chose to use as a method to save my life. So I reached out to my friend who had been promoting the tea, and I started drinking the tea. And actually, it took me 5 months. I procrastinated for like 5 months because I reached out to her. I think it was around January, but I didn't take action to June. It was like June 15th, 2015, when I took action. But once I took action, there was no turning back. It was either fight for my life and live or quit and die. Those were my only two options, And once I realized that God told me that I would live and not die, He supernaturally put something down on the inside of me to fight. Because at first I had no fight in me. Like I say, life had beaten me up, and I didn't want any more parts of it.
Mm-hmm. I see. And the one thing that a lot of people have a hard time doing when they're, going through some struggles is, a lot of times when you go through struggles, you lose focus of what you really want out of life, right?
Exactly.
And you get sidetracked. Now, based on what you've said thus far, you had an amazing amazing number of things that go ahead and make you lose focus. And my question to you is this: why did you not lose focus? You had every reason to lose focus, but you didn't.
Absolutely. And a lot of people ask me that question. I'm like, well, what kept you motivated? Why did you keep going? And my answer is simple: pain and tragedy. Those were the two ingredients that I used, and I'm still using to today as my fuel. I use my pain of my past and the tragedies of losing my family as my fuel. It was like I said, it was devastating losing my family. My dad was the first one to pass in 2011. 8 months after that, my grandmother passed away. And then August 27th, 2014, my sister, who was only 36, passed away. And then February 25th of last year, my mother passed away. So basically, I can hear little conversations that we had along the way. And one of the last conversations that I had with my little sister, she told me that she had a vision in a dream. And in this dream, I didn't have any weight on my body. I was completely, whole. There was no struggle. And she said I looked good in the dream and in the vision. So pretty much, I'm determined to bring her word to pass. I can't allow her words to hit the ground. So that's why I grind every day. I'm grinding for myself, of course, but I'm grinding for my family who's no longer here. I'm grinding for, the multitude of people who are dependent on me to complete what I started. Going back a little bit, and excuse me, I'm a little hoarse tonight. I'll be up in this gym, like screaming and yelling, and, I'm very passionate about this grind. So I just be up in here screaming sometimes, and apparently I've lost my voice a little bit. But back in 2014, I thought I was definitely going to die. 5 times I was hospitalized with an average stay of 2 weeks. And the doctors, they were pretty much saying that you're basically close to death. I was basically my kidneys were shutting down. I was bleeding from my rectum. Just massive issues that were just up against me. But I just want to let somebody know that when it's not your time to die, no matter what happens, you will not die. I mean, things may come, it may appear that you're about to die, but it just can't happen like that, because, God has already promised me life. So, I mean, I'm honoring him in my body today. That's why I'm very careful with what I put in my body. I've been on this journey for 11 months, and I never, basically got sidetracked. And that's unbelievable. It takes a lot of discipline, self-control, and I didn't have that. So I know that came from God. There's no way that Emerson easily is disciplined the way that, I'm disciplined today. Just working out even when my body doesn't feel it, and I tell people all the time, I never quit when my body tells me to quit. I quit when I'm finished, and your breakthrough is way past when your body is hurting. Your body could be hurting for 15, 20 minutes, but your breakthrough is not when your body just starts hurting. I mean, you pretty much have to reach a place of pain, that is like undescribable, but that's where your breakthrough is. That's where your power is. That's where your blessing is. Your blessing is on the other side of that pain. And until you reach that level of pain, there is no blessing.
That's something how you kind of summed it up, as far as you've got to go ahead and reach out and get to a level where something is uncomfortable for you in order for you to go ahead and get the reward on the other side. And, the thing that, based on what you said, Emerson, sometimes, you go at it every day. And I've been watching you, online, and I talk to you a little bit too. Do you ever just make a mistake and mess up one day? And if you do, what do you do about it?
Well, I mean, there have definitely been occasions where I have not eaten the right thing. I can't sit here and say that every day I have not put something in my mouth that should not go in there. But when I do eat something that's not right, you better believe I'm going to be in the gym, working out to the point where I know I'm burning up what I actually put in my body. On a weekly basis, I'm basically burning like 42,000 calories on a weekly basis. I burn about 8,000 to 9,000 calories daily. I do 2 workouts every single day. In the morning, I do like 99 minutes on the elliptical with the intensity level around 35 to 43, and I burn around 5,700 calories all the way to 7,200 calories. So I do that twice a day, 99 minutes in the morning and 60 minutes in the evening. Plus I lift weights twice a day. So even when I do mess up a little bit, I've worked my body to a place to where actually it's benefiting me. I wouldn't encourage anybody to mess up, but just in case you do, you can't beat yourself up about it. You have to have a mindset that this isn't something that is going to knock me out. You just got to dig in deeper, and ask God for the strength to, get things together. This has been something I've battled all my life. I've battled obesity at a very early age. And, God is basically teaching me how to use all of those experiences as a child to defeat this spirit of obesity. How to overcome depression. And I attempted suicide several years ago because I was in such a low place. And now, God is basically giving me the mindset how to overcome it. And the only way to overcome depression is to keep putting in that work. The only way to overcome defeat is to keep on pushing. And no matter who's in your corner, you can't allow that to be your excuse not to do what you got to do. I don't care if there's anybody, on your side. As long as God strengthens you to do it, you can do it. For 11 months, I've been living on Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. There is nothing impossible for me. I already see this, and I tell people all the time, you can't have anything that you cannot see. If you cannot see it, you will not possess it. But if you have the power to see the blessing, you have the authority and the power to possess it. So, there's nothing that's going to stop me. Like, there's been many things that have come to knock me out of the race. Several months back, I pulled my sciatic nerve, and I felt like I was going to die. I was crying like a little lady, and that's nothing against women. But, I was like just crying and weeping, but I went on YouTube and found some videos of some workouts that I could do sitting in the bed, and I just kept it moving. One time I fell in my house, split a couple of my toes open. The enemy thought I was going to stop working out. I came in the gym that same day with busted up toes and still put in work. So I've developed the attitude that nothing will stop me. I'm grinding every single day. There are no off days for me. Even when my body feels like, oh, you need a break, I'm not grinding for myself. This is bigger than me. There's somebody every single day that's waiting on me to post something on my Facebook page for me putting in that work. So I live for this. I'm addicted to the grind. I probably would be very grumpy if I didn't come in the gym. I've just been doing this too long now.
So you've turned it into a lifestyle, not something like just something that you do. It's become part of your lifestyle now.
Absolutely. I'll take this grind to my grave. If I never achieve my goal, I'm definitely going to die trying to get there. Every single day from here on out, I'm putting in work. Your mindset has to reach a level of where nothing will stop you. It all starts in mind. If your mind isn't right, everything that comes your way will knock you out the race. But if your mind is right, you can do anything. Some days I feel like Superman, even though my body is like screaming like, you're trying to kill me. And yes, I am trying to kill my body. I tell people all the time, sometimes you got to make your body cry sometimes in order for your body to smile.
Right.
If you don't make your body cry, your body will never smile. And, that comes from, putting your body under a certain amount of pressure. A lot of people see the posts that I put on Facebook, but they don't see the pain that I go through on a daily basis. There's literally been times when I've been on the treadmill crying the whole walk. Whether it was from the pain that I felt in my body or if it was me just thinking about my loved ones who weren't here no more. But I keep going, because I know that my family wouldn't have it any other way. I tell people all the time, my mama didn't birth out no punk or no chunk. She birthed out a fighter. My little sister was born when Muhammad Ali and Frazier was fighting. My whole family is scrappers, you know. From birth, we've been scrapping, you know. So I'm not a quitter. You know, I'm an absolute fighter. You know, I believe in the grind, and I don't like being comfortable. You know, when things get comfortable, that's when I start to worry, because I know that I can never be blessed in a place of comfort. My blessing is being uncomfortable. So, you know, I know I'm going to pay for that statement, because I know uncomfortable is going to present itself like, oh, you want uncomfortable? I'm going to give you some more.
Yeah. Hey, Emerson, that was a pretty deep statement that you just kind of laid out on us. You know, your blessing doesn't come to you until you're uncomfortable. Now, I want you to go back. I want you to go back, because you said that for the first, I think you said 4 or 5 months, you didn't really commit to it, right? And
no, I was committed from the very beginning. Oh, you talking about when I procrastinated for 5 months? Yeah. I just sat back and watched.
Sat back and watched. Now, I want to ask you something here, and you just go ahead and tell me what was happening with you, because you procrastinated. Now, you did say that your friend gave you some tea that you were using, right? And when you use that tea and you're still procrastinating, you haven't bought into it. What was life like back then?
Oh, it was horrible, because at that particular time, you know, my mind is like going back and forth. It basically felt like tug of war. You know, my mind was like, you need to do it, but my body was like, there's absolutely no way that you can do it. You know, I was just thinking about all of the challenges that I knew I would face. You know, because several years back, I had reached 430 pounds, and nobody really knows this particular part of my story. Several years back, when I was in my 20s, I had reached 430 pounds, and I had lost 220 pounds. So I basically had lost the weight once before, and I knew how painful the journey was. And when I was procrastinating, I was thinking like, Lord, I do not want to put my body through what I put it through before. You know, I just was like, okay, I mean, I must be meant to be fat. That was my mindset. Like, I guess I'm cursed with the spirit of fatness. You know, and I was very depressed, you know, suicidal at times. And I told a couple of people how I used to always be in the grocery store, you know, and I would get such evil looks from people. I mean, it was such a lonely and painful place. You know, I'd get such evil looks from people, and every day I was basically in a war with the world, because people would, you know, just look at me and say, man, you know, he's fat. And, you know, kids, they are blunt about, you know, how they feel. So a lot of times I would be in the grocery store in my wheelchair, and the little child would be like, ooh, he surely is fat. And the way my mindset was, forgive me, Lord, I used to tell the parents, look, if you don't get your child, I'm about to beat him up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was just in such a place. I was like, if you don't get your child, I'm going to beat your child up. Then I'm going to run you over with my wheelchair. You know, it's like just constantly in warfare. And many times I didn't even feel like coming out the house, you know. And one thing that I struggled with, I had no energy. I felt lifeless. And a lot of times I would sleep till like 2 and 3 in the afternoon. And then about 5 o'clock, I needed a nap. So, I mean, I had only been woke for like 2 hours and already needed a nap.
Mm. And that's wow, that's pretty heavy there. And that's during your procrastination. Now, something must have happened from that point there when you procrastinated and you were thinking about what you had to do in order to get where you need to go. What can you pinpoint what made you say enough's enough? I've got to go ahead and face it.
Absolutely. When I began to think about my family, and I realized, I said, ain't no way my family will basically want me to go out the way I'm going out, you know. And then another thing that drove me was I said to myself, excuse my language, there's no way in hell when I die somebody gonna have to build a box for me. I said, when I die, I'm dying in I'm getting buried in a regular casket like everybody else. There's no way I'm getting buried in a box, you know, where they can't fit me in a regular casket. So, I mean, that's been my fuel. And, you know, then just thinking about how painful it was at 560, I said, you know, if I don't make some changes now, I'm not going to be here much longer, you know. And once I realized God told me that I would live and not die, I said, okay, as long as I know God got my back, you know, it's on and popping now. So I just began to put in the work. And just to keep it real with you, I laid down with the same mindset, but woke up with a different one. I can't even explain how my mindset had changed in my sleep. It had to be God. Because I laid down thinking about chicken and pizza, and then I woke up thinking about, oh, it's time to get some fruits and vegetables. It's time to do away with the family size bags of Doritos, later for the Pepsi. I mean, I used to drink a 2-liter of Pepsi every single day. I mean, thankfully. And if I didn't have the money, I'd be looking in the couch for change. I mean, I was literally fiending for Pepsi, you know, and I would eat a large pizza, 16-inch, with 100 pepperonis on it. I mean, I was just out of control. So for me to lay down with that mindset of like, oh, I live to eat. You know, that was my life. I live to eat. And then to wake up with a mindset, instead of living to eat, now I'm eating to live. So, I mean, everything just changed drastically. You know, it wasn't like I started removing stuff gradually. It's like everything happened so fast. I went from eating everything that was bad for me to eating everything that was good for me immediately. And it was because of that tea. When I started drinking that tea, and that tea cleaned me out, got all the toxins and parasites out of my body, I no longer wanted junk food. I wanted good stuff. So I thank God for the tea. You know, drinking and shrinking. You know, and when I got that package, I never looked back. You know,
right.
And I knew if I became a product of the product and it helped me, that it would be able to help other people. You know, and at first I was just fighting to live for me, but I knew other people needed some hope too. You know, and I wanted to be that forerunner to be a blessing to the nations. You know, so my grind is for the multitudes. You know, my grind is no longer about me. So I present my body a living sacrifice every single day.
Now, Emerson, you know, the one thing that's amazing is that you said that, you know, you went and you started using this tea. You woke up one morning and said, I'm going to change. And you started committing to this, to using the tea and eating better and exercising. Now, what did it feel like when you first started really noticing a change in your weight?
I felt alive again. You know, I feel like, okay, you know, there's hope for me. That was the first, you know, feeling that I really got was hope. When I started losing weight instead of gaining weight, you know, to see the scale going backwards, you know, that's an awesome feeling, you know, because for so long, every time I stepped on the scale, I was gaining weight. So to see the scale going backwards, it felt really great, you know, and I started feeling better in my body, you know, and I felt alive again. I mean, for years I felt dead. You know, I just felt like You know, I was just existing. And that was just a tremendous feeling to feel alive again, you know. And I can't even really explain it, but just to go through several years of feeling dead to all of a sudden feeling alive again, it was wonderful. Just to be able to get out the house and, you know, things get a little easier. You know, I still had a long way to go, but just to know that, I mean, 35 pounds in a month make a big difference, you know?
Yeah, I bet so. I bet so.
Absolutely.
You know, I got another question here, you know, because when you're, you know, when you said that you started feeling alive and you had hope. Now, were you still in your wheelchair then, or were you not using the wheelchair as much?
I was still in my wheelchair. I didn't get out of my wheelchair until probably the third or fourth month. And just to be honest with you, God will basically present situations to where, you know, you can no longer use things as your crutch. So unfortunately, my wheelchair went out on me, you know, and nothing I did would charge up the battery. So I knew, like, you know, at that particular time, thank God I had been 4 months in and I was able to start making some changes, you know, and getting around better. But my wheelchair went out. So after the fourth month, I have not been back in my wheelchair. You know, I had a cane that I was using, but eventually I wasn't using the cane anymore. So for about the last 7, 8 months, I have been wheelchair free and cane free.
So are you now eating pretty much vegetables? I mean, what are you eating right now? Because, you know, for someone to go and drop, you dropped over 200, or was it close to 200 pounds?
200.
200 pounds in 11 months.
Yes.
I know that there had to be a big change in your eating. You've already said that you made changes, but, you know, just for the people that are going to be listening to this, I mean, what kind of changes did Emerson have to make in order for you to keep continuing to lose that kind of weight?
Here recently, my body has been like trying to fight me. So I just want to encourage somebody, you know, to just keep going, even, you know, when it seems like you're not losing weight. I mean, you may be in a place where you feel like you're not progressing, you know, and you're at a standstill, but you just got to keep going. I had a period where I was working out for like a whole month, twice a day, and then I stepped on the scale and said I had gained a pound. That was like in my fourth month. And right then, I had a decision to make because I was at a place to where I was ready to quit when I knew I had been working hard, eating right, and I gained a pound. I mean, I was devastated. And the old me would have just said, forget this, I quit, I'm no longer doing this. But I had a decision to make, and that decision was to keep going. You know, I felt as though I had come too far at that particular time to quit. You know, and plus I enjoyed eating the things that I was eating. I enjoyed eating fruits and vegetables, and, you know, I was eating like spinach salads with strawberries and cranberries. You know, I enjoyed people calling me a health fanatic, you know, and I enjoyed, you know, people reaching out to me even when I was still fat, just to get somebody small, you know, a smaller person reaching out to me like, I need help, you know, coming to a fat person like me. So I just knew that right then it was bigger than me. So I continued with my lifestyle of eating fruits and vegetables. I ate basically a high protein, high fiber diet in the beginning. I ate a lot of beans, fruits and vegetables, ate a lot of fish. Fish was something I basically can eat 7 days a week. Believe it or not, my birthmark is a fish. So I absolutely love fish. And I can eat that every single day. I eat ground turkey, and a lot of people won't believe this, but God was giving me recipes right while I was cooking. You know, I would just take different things that I had in the kitchen and begin to put them together, like spinach with ground turkey and, black eyed peas and curry powder, all kinds of stuff. And, it tasted pretty good to me. And I was dropping weight. So I just found out like different dishes that I enjoyed eating. And I was eating them like every day, and people say, man, that seems like that would get boring eating the same thing every day. But I don't mind eating the same thing when I'm getting results,
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you gotta, have a boring journey. Sometimes the journey will not be exciting. Sometimes your food will not taste the best. I didn't nail the recipes every time. Sometimes the food was flat out bland, but I ate it anyway because I knew that it would give me results. And when you on the journey, that's all you care about is results. So I'm after results, and I'll do anything to get there. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I did this. I wouldn't do products, or I wouldn't have surgery." I'm not knocking anybody that had surgery, but I just knew that God had put something down on the inside of me to do this journey without surgery. But some people absolutely need surgery. But just the other day, I lost a friend who had surgery. She was only in her early 40s, and she died because of the gastro bypass surgery. And I just, my mom had that surgery several years ago, and it almost cost her life. Her sister had it. I'm not saying that those played factors in them not being here today, but I definitely believe that had they not had the surgery, there's a great chance that they would still be here. Wow. But I knew I wasn't going that way. It was either do it myself or die.
Well, sorry to hear that. Yeah, definitely sorry to hear that. It brings me. Really, I was going to ask the next question here, and you've kind of already started going into it. Is that you didn't go the surgery route. You decided to do this on your own. You did mention that you utilized the tea because you believe that the tea really truly put you on the right track. Was there anything else that you used that you thought you were able to benefit from using?
Oh, absolutely. The Ignite Max. I mean, I absolutely love the Ignite Max because it definitely gives me like an edge in the gym. It gives me like energy like no tomorrow, basically. I don't believe that I would basically be doing 2 workouts every single day if it was not for the Ignite Max. To work out 5 and 6 hours a day. And after working out, I still feel as though I can go another hour. I definitely contribute part of that to Ignite Max. And then I also contribute, God has blessed me with the spirit of stamina, But I absolutely love the Ignite Max. I was taking cardio. A lot of people may not know about the cardio, but that's a product that basically, protects your heart from heart attacks, heart disease, strokes, improves blood flow and circulation throughout the body. And all of that was important because of the type of workouts that I was doing. I needed my body to recover quickly. And I definitely believe that, the Ignite Max, the cardio, the daily, all of those help my body recover like really fast. Because every single day I'm literally beating my body up, but every time it's time to work out, my body is ready. And I'm not saying that my body is pain free. Many times before I even start working out, my body is in so much pain. There's literally been times when I've been bent over and hardly able to move or walk. But, God gives me the strength to put in that work.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing there, because I used to work out a lot myself, and that was one of the main things when you're working out is recovery, right? Recovery. Your body just needs that extra time, and your situation, you weren't necessarily used to that. So I guess these supplements and different things that you did take along with your eating, it played a major role in your body being able to do what it needed to do in order to get you where you're at right now.
Absolutely. I tell everybody, you can train hard, but if excuse me, if your diet is like crappy, you will not outwork your eating habits, So you gotta, be able to work out good, eat good, but proper supplementation is key too. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to take any products," but if you look at major athletes, most of them are taking something to enhance their performance and give them recovery. It's all about recovery, because if your body, gets to a point where it can't put in work, you're not going to get the results. So I need my body to be able to perform every single day. So supplementation is very important to me. And I've been taking these products from the very beginning. The tea was the first. I took that for the first month. And then the second month I added the Ignite Max. And I just gradually kept adding another product, But supplementation is everything to me. And I love these products, and I will take these products till the day I die, probably.
Gotcha. So now that you've had some major success, right? And that, what does it feel like? Because you just added me to your I think that's your group that you have, right? And what's the name of your group on Facebook?
The name of my group is called Extreme Weight Loss Drinking and Shrinking. You
have over 400 members, I think it is. Is it? I think it was over 400 members that joined that group.
Right now it's at around 825 members.
Wow. And that's all based on what you have done. So you kind of turn into this celebrity. So what's that feel like?
Well, I value my group dearly. I think of everybody in that group as my babies, basically. And I want to protect them. I want to fight for them. And I carry them in my spirit every single day. And when I'm in the gym, I'm thinking about my group. I'm thinking about, they need to see me staying strong, because every day I'm not strong. I have many days where I'm weak, but I have people in the group that call me Superman, so I can't afford to take off the cake.
Right. Yeah, I get you on that one, because, that's one of the things I kind of notice about you. You seem like you do wear a cape, and when I look through the group, I notice that people are looking at what you're doing. They're trying to imitate you. Absolutely.
And some of them get a little frustrated because some of them say, "I'm not getting results like you're getting," but some of them don't realize that I had so much weight to lose, and a lot of people may not know that when you have a lot of weight to lose, you'll lose weight faster, So, and plus, making drastic changes to your diet to go from eating 7,000 and 8,000 calories on a daily basis to basically, about 2,000 a day, you're going to drop a lot of weight. Anybody would, But yeah, I value my group dearly. They give me strength on a daily basis, because I know that they're definitely dependent on me to get the job done.
Okay. Well, listen, Emerson, before we go ahead and move on to the next thing, I want to go ahead. I'm sure that somebody out here has probably got some questions for you. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody. And if you got a question for Emerson, feel free to go ahead and step up to the plate and ask him. All right. And who has a question? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a question for Emerson? Because if not, I got some questions I got to ask him.
Well, I want to ask him a question. I want to know, do he do a lot of juicing?
Do I do a lot of juicing?
Yes.
Okay, that's a great question. And basically, to answer that question, not too long ago.
Wait, I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Hold on a second. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. And then, Emerson, I just want you to go ahead and answer that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Emerson.
Okay. The answer to that question, and by the way, it's definitely a great question. I have definitely utilized doing a lot of fruit smoothies with spinach in them. And here recently, I did 13 days with no meat, and I basically just did fruit smoothies with spinach in them and ate one salad a day. But I've been doing the fruit smoothies for about 9 months into my journey. So yes, I mean, that's been a major part of my program because the juice in it basically goes directly into your bloodstream, and there's nothing to break down.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm a.
Thank you.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep. Go ahead.
Well, I have a question. I want to know if you eat everything fresh. Does everything you take in have to be fresh? Do you eat anything frozen or prepackaged or anything like that?
Okay. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, yeah, go ahead. There you go.
Okay. Basically, the answer to that question is I definitely eat a lot of frozen fruits and vegetables. But as far as the meat, I don't eat a lot of processed meat. Everything is basically fresh, from like the fish, the chicken, the ground turkey. I don't eat at restaurants really. Every now and then I will go to Taco Bell and get one of their power bowls, something like that, or Subway. But I've literally eliminated basically eating out. So I pretty much cook all of my food on a daily basis. But I do eat like a lot of frozen fruits and vegetables. I use them in my smoothies.
Okay. All right. Next question.
How often do you eat, Emerson?
Can you repeat that again?
How often is it? Like every 2 hours you have a meal? Like, how do you keep from being so hungry?
Emerson, did you hear that one?
Yes. And that is definitely a good question. One of
Can you do that now? How about now? Can you hear it? Can you answer that now, Emerson?
Yeah. One of the ways that I keep myself from being hungry is I'm always detoxing my body. When you don't have parasites, the toxins in your body, you want to be hungry. So a lot of people don't realize that when you have parasites and toxins in your body, you'll stay hungry. Because when you're eating, instead of you getting your nutrients, you'll be feeding the parasites, and they'll eat up everything that you're putting in your body. So when your body is toxic free, as well as no parasites, you won't get hungry as quick. you know, and some of these products, you know, actually curb your appetite a little bit, like the Ignite Max. A lot of times I have to force myself to eat, you know, but I know it's important for me to eat. But a lot of my meals are like through smoothies. I do like a couple of smoothies. But yes, I do eat about 4 to 5 meals a day.
Okay. All right. Next question.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
The parasites, that is, not the Ignite Max, the tea, does it kill it?
Emerson, did you get that?
Does the tea kill those parasites?
All right.
That's definitely a great question. I'm ready to answer.
I'm gonna mute everybody. Let Emerson go ahead and answer. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. The answer to that question, the tea will definitely eliminate parasites and toxins in your body. It got rid of mine. And then I had a friend who told me he drank the tea and started coughing up worms and eliminating worms, you know, from his body. So the tea will definitely cleanse out your body, you know, and like I say, that was definitely one of the keys to my journey of getting on the right track because my body was so sick in the beginning. But once my body got all of those toxins out from drinking the tea, you know, I had a lot of energy after that.
Great, great, great. All right. Next question. Any more? Anybody have any more questions?
Do you have a target weight?
Emerson, did you get that? Emerson, did you get that one?
Did somebody else have a question?
Yeah. She wanted to know, do you have a target weight?
Do I have a charge fee?
A target weight. What's the goal weight that you're going after?
Okay. My goal weight is to get down to 185 and then put like 20 pounds of muscle on. So, just a total transformation. Like my goal weight, I don't know if a lot of you seen Terrell Owens' body, but that is like one of my goals is to get my body like Terrell Owens.
Yeah. You know, Terrell, I mean, he's kind of a freak of nature. But, I mean, I bet you can do it. I mean, that's no doubt about that. I bet you could do it. All right. We're going to go ahead and have one more question for Emerson here. Next question.
Are you going to get into personal training so that you can help others?
So Emerson,
Yeah.
after you go ahead and lose your weight, all right, you already got people asking you, are you going to be a personal trainer?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and actually I have somebody that I am training tomorrow. You know, I've actually trained several people already. Like one of the people sent me a text message that said, I lost 10 pounds. They were shocked. And I told them if they do what I tell them to do, they will definitely get the results. But yes, I'm definitely going to be a personal trainer. This is my passion. This is what I do. This is what I live for. And I definitely want to travel the country, you know, helping people, especially those who can't even get out of their homes. Because I've contacted several people who can't even get out the house.
Wow.
And I definitely want to be there for them people because I can relate to that.
You know, that's something else. I mean, you've gone from one extreme to the other. Where one extreme, you didn't even know if you're going to make it the very next day. So now you're training people to go ahead and get healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I never would have,
that's
in a
some.
million years, I would have thought that people would be reaching out to me for help.
Well, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. You know, I mean, Emerson, you basically not only did you not just talk about it, you went out there and you showed people this is what you do. Now, I'm going to say this. The reason why I really wanted to see you do this and give this information because, you know, your struggle was with weight. But when I listen to your story, you could take your story and apply it to everybody in their struggles in life. You really truly can. And, you know, I'm hoping that if somebody's on here and they're not necessarily having a struggle with weight, but maybe it might be a struggle with something else, you know, look what you did. And you kind of told them. You said, hey, if you want to get the reward, you got to live in the uncomfortable area first before you can get the reward. You know?
Absolutely.
The longer you live in that uncomfortable area, the greater the reward you're going to get. You know?
Absolutely.
So, you know, you're definitely an inspiration to everybody that has to deal with a daily struggle. And I don't know one person that doesn't deal with a daily struggle. So, you know, I think that's amazing. I got to say, congratulate you again, you know. So, you know, we're coming up on 1 hour, and I know that you're on a schedule. You know, we want to go ahead and make sure that Emerson can keep on his schedule. So, you know, just to everybody, you know, in your own words, and if you're going to give them, you know, some advice, what do you want to tell them, Emerson?
What I would tell them is just, number one, you know, pray about your journey. You know, take it one day at a time. You know, don't get frustrated when it does not seem like you're getting the results. Definitely hydrate your body every day. Drink plenty of water. You know, if you're drinking pops or anything, eliminate that from your program. That one thing right there will make a world of difference. My mom used to always tell me, she said, boy, half of the weight on your body is from what you're drinking. So if you're drinking pops, gallons of juice, I would encourage you to eliminate those, and you'll start dropping weight just from eliminating those two things right there. But don't get frustrated. Don't beat yourself up. Just take it one day at a time. This is not a sprint. This is a journey. You know, the Bible says the race is not given to the swift, but it's to those that endure to the end. You know, as long as you keep fighting, you're victorious. When you give up, that's when you become a failure. You know, but you're not a failure as long as you're fighting. I mean, even if you're gaining weight, if you're getting back up and dusting yourself off and trying on a daily basis, you are victorious. You know, and when you fall, don't stay down too long. Get right back up and go at it again. You know, but yeah, definitely take it one day at a time.
Wow. You know, with that being said, you know, I'd say, you know, looking at what you're doing, I'm going to follow you because you're telling everybody the secret to being successful in whatever you want to do. So, you know, thanks again, Emerson. Listen, we're going to let you get going. And I just want to go ahead and congratulate you, you know, for the 100th time because it's still amazing. And folks, if you want an example, you got one right now, Emerson. He's talking the talk and he's walking the walk. And with that being said, if you have any questions, I advise you to go ahead and join his group. Emerson, what's that group? What's your Facebook group again?
It's called Extreme Weight Loss Drinking and Shrinking.
All right. I love that, drinking and shrinking. Okay, folks, we're going to close it up. And we're hoping that you guys got some value tonight. And thank you so much for taking time out to come go ahead and listen to this amazing gentleman right here, Emerson, Mr. Emerson here. And hopefully we'll go ahead and get Emerson to come back on to give us an update and more information that can help us get through some struggles that we have on a daily basis. All right. So with that being said, good night.
Good night.